Peace. Think fast. This is one of those little downloads. I ain't gonna call it miscellaneous downloads. It's just kind of like a, well, no, because it does get into the deepness of of our existence and our experience, I guess, but it just come off as miscellaneous to kind of have insight on something of this nature. But basically, like, I call it the insight of why people from the south, like, so people in the southern regions, when we talk and we speak, we don't use consonants too much when we speak. So say for instance, like the word floor, we say flow. Instead of saying door, we say dope. Like, basically, and the R is not I'm trying to think of a better example of like using consonants. Like, basically how consonants, like you say for instance, like a D sound and D. It has, so sounds also have, everything has gender. So even sounds have a masculine energy or feminine energy. And it's more of a feminine energy coming from vowels. You hear O or ooh. It sound rolling like ooh, like it could. Instead of a frigid D. D. You can't come out of that like a straight line. Like a straight line is masculine. Like D. D. It's not like oh. Matter of fact, like all the vowels. Matter of fact, you look at the vowels almost like seem interchangeable. Compared to like d, t, like, well, you can't, like with a T sound. You know what I'm saying? It's masculine. It's bloop, bloop. It's like an action. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know if I spoke to this too in another video where like how people from the south embody more of a feminine spirituality, in the essence of it, and the people more in like New York and those regions carry more of a masculine vibe to the spirituality, more logic, book smart, like, building on the knowledge God, you know what I'm saying, this and that, king God, like it's more from that aspect in the East Coast vibe. But with us, it's more of like the ignorance of just going with the flow, like, let go and let God. Like, well, somebody in Louisiana couldn't tell you the 160 lessons of the 5% nation, but they could know how to till the land and be one with the land and with animals, and you know what I'm saying, like that, again, just that raw connection, to source. But also, again, with the words, you know what I'm saying, like, again, we are embodiment of source, different different viewpoints for God or for source, you know what I'm saying, to experience itself, you know what I'm saying. But and when you drop down into the vibes, the more elder vibes, it's the feminine vibe, and when you think about in America, the eldest vibe of where some of the black people, African Americans, for lack of a better word, come from, is, in that Louisiana area, in that southern area, so that old divine feminine nature, in essence, comes from from that area, and then they move, and then just like how the feminine energy and the masculine, got the masculine vibes in the East Coast, where they took it to a level of like, all right, the books, logically, like, let's get into this on a masculine level, like, peep the science, God, you know what I'm saying, like, getting on it on that level. But again, back to the linguistics, the, like, say, I'm from the side, instead of I'm from the south, I'm from the south, like the south or south. It's like a strong, like a but we are that feminine nature, so we like things to flow, curvy, feminine, so when we talk, and we like for the words, they don't have consonants, like I barely can even say that word attached to it, so you see an aspect, though, just again indirectly, of how source, certain truths of our existence, or certain truths of our connection to source, is in our everyday, aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? You just, again, being aware to see it. Because say, for instance, if if I'm drinking 40 ounces and doing all what I used to do, I'm not paying attention to, have insights on information like this, you know what I'm saying? But again, I digress. Cause I didn't know where I was going with that. I forgot where I was going with that. But that's basically it. Just wanted to share that aspect and how we could just see again. Oh, that's what I was going to. How you could find certain truths of our being within the simple things of the way we do things. As simple as the way people from the South talk. It shows you that feminine nature of God. Like so. Pronunciation of words. Even the feminine nature, being bestowed, within the words as well, and just seeing how those aspects trickle down into everything we do. In fact, the feminine nature, non-logical. That's why, in the deep South, you get burnt. My mom, go put some butter on that burn. You know what I'm saying? That's that old school God alchemy. You know what I'm saying? that that ignorance in essence. But say for instance, like I used to speak of, like say for instance, sometimes not having all this book knowledge could be an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you over logical, you trying to be logical, your logic could get in the way. I always bring up the story of the toilet, you know what I'm saying, where people, like with humans, oh, we so smart, and which part of that I feel like indirectly they did it on purpose to throw our bodies off. But either way, you know what I'm saying, it's like, oh, I'm a smart human, let me make a toilet. Well, smart human, you don't realize that when you made that toilet, now you're causing your body to have a hernia. So that is not the natural way of you to have a bowel movement, is to actually stoop down. So here it is, where if you was just following your intuition and not trying to be overly, book smart or logical, you would have just knew, like, just stoop down, just do what, just be. Instead of trying to, you know what I'm saying? And it's a balance, like, with that. The right amount of books and the right amount of going with the flow, you know what I'm saying? Because it got some aspects of the Southern people where it's just too much of ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Where you just really don't get certain aspects that you should get. And then with the East Coast vibe, sometimes it could be overly logical where, of course you're dropping the actual facts of the science of creation, but are you actually embodying that energy that you're speaking on, you know what I'm saying, that you're preaching about, you know what I'm saying? So it's a balance of both, not just one side to that story. But that's basically it. That's all I have to say about that. Peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now.